Hey, so this is the first video that I've recorded for YouTube that I'm actually going to put out. We're going to see how the volume works, if I need to buy a microphone. But for right now, yeah, so my name is Jamila, and I'm putting this video out. This is like an intro video, not like it is an intro video. Don't know how long it's going to be. I can be verbose. But just want to share a little bit about myself and the purpose of creating this, putting these videos out. Because I've had the channel for a minute, but putting out public videos. So, yeah, my name is Jamila. I feel like I've been, I don't know if I should say called or not, but because there's certain connotations with that word, and it's not necessarily negative connotations, but I feel like I'm supposed to put out some videos, and we shall see if we'll see what comes of it. But basically, I'm putting out videos. I'm hoping that will be helpful for someone. It's going to be helpful for me, I guess. But yeah. So the main thing I'm doing, maybe I'll edit that first part out. But the main thing I'm doing is going on a journey to try to understand what God means when He tells us to seek Him first, and everything else will be added. Partially, but also just learning more about who God is and who I am in Him, how He created me, and hopefully others will be on the journeys of understanding how He created them and their uniqueness and what they're supposed to do in this world. Yeah, so I've sometimes I have to think, man. I'm 46. Yeah, and so there have been a number of times in my life that I've attempted to read through the entire Word. And I've started. I know some of you may know, like years ago, there was it reading through the Word in 90 days, right? I don't remember the exact terminology, but that's what it was. Reading through it in 90 days, and I tried that probably at least twice in my life, and had the specific book, and I checked things off as I read. Consistency, I think, can be a key with all of us, or a lot of us in life, whatever we're doing, right? And of course, making time. Depending on what's going on in our lives, it could be like legitimately where, I mean, it's still a thing of making time, but there could be so many things vying for your time, or responsibilities or things that you want to do, and it's just okay, determining what you're going to do with the 24 hours that each one of us has, right? Yeah, so depending again on your responsibilities and all the things. So anyway, so I've tried that a few times, and I tried just reading on my own, and I'll get to a certain point, and maybe a day or two I won't read, and then I'll get back on. So anyway, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to read through from Genesis to Revelation. I tend to be one who I might read a verse, and depending on what little footnotes or like things there are in whatever Bible I'm reading, I might, or whatever questions I have, I might skip, I might go and read that other verse, and to try to get a better, deeper context, a deeper understanding. Just see, so that takes more time. takes more time. And I enjoy reading the word that way. It's helpful for me, but it does make reading his word take longer. And I remember my church home. I haven't been in person in a while, but Pulpit Rock in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Um, it it was it they did a series on it was called Rebible, so RE and then the word Bible, and I'm trying to remember because it's been a minute since I've watched the videos, but just talking about different ways to read through the Bible. Like you could do like read and really like get in and try to study. You could get an overview, and you could do a lot of things in between. And just talking about the benefits of the different ways that you can read through the Word, and at different stages and seasons of your life, you may need or want to read through in different ways, or you might read through all the ways in certain seasons of your life, like at the same time. So it's all going to vary, per person and what's going on in their lives and things like that. But so I thought that was really cool and it's helpful, and just think about that. Anyway, so basically, I'm planning on reading through the Word. I started, want to say again, a few months ago, like February, March or so. And I thought about recording some videos around that time. It is now June. It's not, not super long, but long enough. And I was trying to decide a lot of things. Even recording this one, I was like, maybe I should cut my hair first, make sure my hair looks, fresh. So fresh and so clean. Then I was like, you know what? Hey, this is Jamila. Okay. Sometimes the hair will be cut, sometimes it won't. Real life, living, being a human, and just because this, if I waited for that, I mean, I could cut my hair today, but a whole bunch of other things. Even I don't got to see what the audio is like on this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, oh, I might need a microphone because are they gonna hear me well? And I was like, you know what? So we'll see. This is take one. This is take one with the camera on. This is the third time I've recorded something, or tried recording something testing. But anyhow, again, verbose rambling. But and this was normal. So for me, anyway, so I'm gonna read through the Word. It'd be cool to have a community. I don't know all the things. No human knows all the things. Knows for sure all of what the Lord means in or meant in His Word. I believe we're all, those of us who are truly trying to understand what God is saying, and just at large to all of us, and then to each of us specifically, we're trying to figure it out. Some of us might, I have a desire, I like languages, I have a desire to learn Hebrew and Greek, but I know that's not the only way that you can know what the Lord is saying. Thankfully, we have the Holy Spirit, which, helpful, very helpful, muy importante. And I do throw various languages, and some things I've made up over the years, in there. But I think Spanish is my favorite non-native language, like not the language I grew up learning, or know fluently. So if I throw some words out there, even made up stuff, like it's not out of a lack of, it's not peeking at the language, just and other words I've picked up over the years, just because I like the sound of the word, or because I like, in general, a different language or whatnot. Just know that that's natural. It's not. I'm not putting on or anything like that. I just genuinely like languages, and don't know any fluently, other than my own. Other than English. But yeah. Anyway, but I do enjoy other languages. So again, started learning some here and there. Completed? No, no. But anyhow, so getting back to, I'm gonna reading through, and you know, if whoever clicks on these videos and watches and wants to comment, hopefully lovingly and with an air of assistance, um, will you know, give their knowledge. So there's a Hebrew scholar out there, a Greek scholar. If I pose a question or you just notice that I'm in a passage and you want to like, hey, did you know blah blah blah, cultural knowledge out there about, you know, biblical times and like, you know, feel free, please, because I'm hoping this will be a collaborative space, collaborative group, and you know, we can help each other out. I definitely don't want to lead anyone astray. I don't want to throw some stuff out there that's not true. That may happen. I tend to try to err on the side of like, I think it could be, I wonder, versus saying like definitely this, because there are things that I don't know. Many things I don't know, and yeah, my hope is that it won't be this will be a helpful space, a helpful place. So I grew up reading through the King James Version, and I like flowery words, and I like these and thous, but probably around preteen, teenage years, and beyond, I've read mostly through the NIV. As an adult, I mean, I heard about other versions probably as a teenager as well, but I pretty much read the NIV. Like, that was just my preferred version. And anyhow, but as I've gotten older, you know, you got the CSB, various versions, right? And some that, you know, the Message, and just different ones that bring a different kind of spin or light or hopefully clarity to some of the words and some of the passages. I do, like I said, I enjoy languages, and I would like to learn Hebrew and Greek one day, mainly because just understanding, so not only culturally, but understanding the original Hebrew and Greek meaning of certain things, I feel like is awesome. And just uh, whenever I hear sermons and they're saying, oh, you know, the original, you know, Hebrew or the original Greek or the Greek for this word was meaning this and this means this, like, I think a lot of people probably know that sometimes when you try to translate from one language to another, there can be things that are challenging to get across. One language might have 10 words for something that means a specific thing. Like, all those 10 words together, this phrase means this. And another language, you might say one word, and vice versa. You might say one word, and there's a specific understanding, a meaning, a feeling to what this one word is in the culture that it comes from, but then trying to explain it to to a person who's not from that culture, or trying to have a word that correlates, can be challenging, right? So Hebrew Greek, you know, those who were on the or have been on the boards for the different versions, and or who, you know, translate it, like I I wasn't there. You know, awesome. And I feel like my prayer would be that a majority, if not all, of people like were really truly trying to make sure they get the point across. But my point is that I really enjoy, I really love, and find helpful when I'm like, in a way, kind of like get a peek behind the scenes, I guess, or a better understanding of what this word, you know, like I probably, I don't know if I was like a teenager or older, when, like, for example, the word fear, right? We hear about fear in the Lord, right? And in my mind, fear was fear. Like, even though I didn't feel like God wanted me to be afraid of him, but that was like a verse, right? And so knowing that that meant really being in awe of him, not being afraid of him, because it was kind of like, okay, fear the Lord, but then he tells us not to be anxious, and so then like, oh, wait, how does that? So, but knowing that, okay, this word meant this, and this is what, and there's various words for, different words in the Bible. Like in this case, it meant this, and this was, this word was used, and this word is usually used, what was usually used in this context, and to mean this, and then in this instance, this word for, like the same word in English, it was a different word in Hebrew or Greek, and it was meant this, and Abba Father, just different things, right? So I love learning those kind of things, and so and in a number of cases, just in my life period, but definitely as an adult, hearing that, oh, the Greek or Hebrew was this for this word that I might have a certain definition for, has been helpful. And just, again, getting deeper meaning. But also, I love words in general. So even as a child, like when I learned that there was such thing as a thesaurus. So one, if I'm writing papers, I can, instead of saying the same word over and over again, and it becoming redundant and just making whatever I'm writing just not the best. Just learn that you could use different words, but also definitions. There's plenty of words I saw in the English language I don't know, or I may have understood a certain definition for years, for decades, but then I look up the word and I see, okay, the definition I understand, and maybe some others like, oh yeah, that too, and then someone's like, oh, I didn't realize. And it's not necessarily an archaic use of the word, but just another definition for that same word that I didn't know. So I do a lot of that. So you may see this on this channel where, well, I'll do that. Like, and I'll literally, like I said, me reading through a chapter, okay, sometimes, depending on what I'm doing and what the goal is, sometimes it could take me an hour, okay, because if I'm cross-referencing, doing different things, and that's okay for me. Like, it's enriching for me. And I'll get some things from looking at the other verse, and so, but again, that make it take longer. But sometimes as well, if there's a word, and again, I have a certain definition, and I'm like, okay, let me look that word up, and then I'll write the different definitions out. Just, again, it's edifying for me, so it's helpful for me. So, yeah, so I don't know what this is going to be, but I felt compelled, like I'm supposed to do something, put this out there. I remember as a child, I heard about the Strongs, and, concordances and different things, and I'm trying to remember all of it, but like dictionaries that you could use to look up what a word means in the word, but then also ways that you could cross-reference and see, okay, this word was used how many times in the Bible, and see where it was used. This bed is creaky, so yeah. But I did not. I thought about it, but then I forgot about it, having it right next to me. But yeah. So I've had this for several years. Have I used it for several years? No. But I've had it. I think I don't remember. This might have been. I'm trying to think if this was for my mom or if this is my husband's or what exactly. But anyway, but yeah, so I might try to use this. I don't know. This is decades old. Okay, I don't know if people use something else like now, or instead of, or in addition to. Yeah, this could be, it could be like, oh, this is no longer relevant. I feel like it probably is, but I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not going to school. I considered it'd be cool to go to school again for Hebrew and Greek, maybe for that was it. I'm trying to remember if there was some like if I just wanted to go for a general biblical degree, but definitely Hebrew and Greek, and maybe I'll do that. To an actual like university, or I saw something a few years ago where like on a website where someone was, you could learn Hebrew, I think just the language, and then there was one where you could learn about the culture, because how that important that is, like just knowing, like I remember years ago hearing about what it meant to be a shepherd at that time, and just how that gave a different outlook on when Jesus called himself the Good Shepherd. And so just stuff like that. Like I think just having a deeper understanding. So I want to read through the whole word again. Don't know if that'll happen before Jesus returns or I die. But going in that direction. Seeking him first, seeing what else, what else is added, as it were. But yeah, and how, yeah. Anyway, so some of you may have heard of the world's biggest small group through Way FM. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't listened to Way FM in a minute. But that came to mind as I was like over the months, as I was thinking through this, like, God, what is this going to be? What do you want me to do? What's like the purpose beyond just sharing my reading through the word, like and then it crossed my mind, we a lot, all of us have questions. Some of us, and I love how some of my pastors have talked about stuff that they're still struggling with, and the tension between their walking with the Lord and verses and passages that they're not sure about, or ways that God has expressed himself that they still struggle through. But like I don't know, it's cool seeing that we're all still trying to figure things out. Like some things might be figured out, but like that none of us has it all understood, and that we don't have to have gone to Bible college or to have learned Hebrew and Greek to understand, for God to show us some things and for us to share it with each other. Like that's great. So anyway, so got this, I came across this, and I'm trying to remember. I feel like one of the pastors may have mentioned, maybe not this specific reference book, but just Interlinear. I don't know, I came across it some kind of way. And I was researching, so I also have this to try to see if I can, what I can understand. I don't know. So this is, okay, so this has Strong's, Strong's and GK numbers for easy word studies. Greek and K. I'm not sure what GK is. I looked through it. Yeah. But then it says it also has a 150-page Greek English dictionary. So New Testament. It does say New Testament there. So Greek and Hebrew, Old Testament, right? Every Greek word parsed. Very good. So yeah. So we're gonna see. Lifelong pursuit here. Okay, but yeah. So we'll see if this is not if it's helpful. I feel like it will be helpful. But yeah. So that's, I don't know what this is gonna be. And this is 25 minutes. Again, verbose, right? A whole bunch of stuff that not necessary to say. We'll see how this edits. But yeah. So we shall see what comes of this, and if you can even hear me on this. If I'll be re-recording this, and it'll be shorter or longer. Anyway, so enjoy thy day, and we're gonna see what's up. All right, love to you. I may not know you, but still love. And I pray seriously, it's your day, your month, your year, your weeks, like they're awesome, and that whatever God has for you whatever He has for you occurs, and that you're comforted by Him. And hopefully this we'll see. Like I said, I don't know how this is supposed to be. Like, hey, here's me reading Genesis 1, like, and then here's me reading Genesis 2. I don't know. We'll see. But I've already had some exciting things, and I'm gonna throw some stuff out there. Questions. I don't know all the things. This is probably the third time I said it, maybe fourth. So I'm gonna pose some things and put some things out there. Again, maybe we can help each other. I'm reading through The Case for Christ with my daughter, and I watched a movie years ago. I have it on Audible. Did not listen to it all the way, and I don't think I read through the book years ago. So my first time reading through it, and like there are a number of things that I believed already, right? But I didn't have some of the undergirding, the supporting information. It's been pretty cool, and things that questions I've had about as I've walked, and I didn't like just dismiss the questions, but at times I'm like, oh, okay, I think I have a better understanding, or or I just trusted, even though I didn't fully understand. But some of these things is like, oh, okay, cool. I was wondering about that. So I read through that. The purpose of me saying that, I don't remember. But yeah, I guess just I'm excited. There have been things that I've come across that I'm excited about, and I will share some things. Oh, so Lord, the purpose of me talking about Kids for Christ is just that, like, for those of you who might not know, try to make it brief. Lee Strobel, he was an investigative reporter. His wife was like Jesus, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And wasn't cool, or wasn't cool with it. And I thought I understood one thing. Again, it's a movie, but from the movie, but then hearing some interviews with them, and then reading his book, I'm not this part. So anyway, he went on a if I remember correctly or understood correctly, a search to, I think at first to discredit the stuff she was like Jesus and stuff, and be like, hey, no, this don't, no, we're not doing this, and then learn some things, right? But the purpose of it, so I was just thinking that this group that may be created here could just be us sharing, again, like so Lee talked to various scholars to try to understand some things and debunk things, or just like, hey, I heard this thing, this can't be true, right? Just so in his search for knowledge, or search for to discredit and then like learned some things, he talked to some different scholars. And so what I was going to say is that maybe during this journey is like, okay, this, again, like I mentioned before, this person who's well versed in Hebrew and Greek can like throw in like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and then this person who knows really a lot about the Hebrew culture or the Greek culture, like, oh yeah, by the way, blah blah blah, or just different people who've learned things, and put their knowledge out here, and we can like all together get some new answers, like, oh, the different pieces and parts. So again, prayerfully no one is led astray. We're not like messing people up, but perfectly overall, it'll be a helpful collaborative environment and stuff, and we'll all learn some things, and yeah, get encouragement, like, and like a weight off our shoulders of like of what it means to walk with the Lord, and what He was really meaning. Like, I know there was a sermon a few years ago, again, Purple Rock, and I think it was like the idea of like God cares about, He cares about our obedience, but not more than He cares about just us and fellowship with us, and like the relationship with us, you know. So like us relaxing and just like enjoying spending time with Him, and what does that look like for each one of us, you know. But enjoying His company, and just learning about Him, and learning about how He created us, and then whatever the next step is the next step, you know. Being giving ourselves time, being patient with ourselves, and letting God do the molding, and trying not to get in our own way or His way, and trusting Him, and just what all that is. But hopefully, like I said, I might put some stuff out. I feel like God shared some stuff over time. I started a blog years ago. I have not posted on there in a while, but just, and things that I hope will be encouraging, things that I feel like the Lord shared with me, or you know, aha, enlightenment, light bulb, you know, just moments that was like, oh, okay, and it just like seemed to, like I said, be more encouraging, or take the weight off, or be a different way to understand what maybe He meant about a certain thing, or a certain way I'm supposed to live, and ways that it wasn't as convoluted or complicated or intense as I was trying to make it, or thought it, or understood it to be up to that point. So yeah, we'll see. I might put the link to that blog in here. Just as verbose as I am on this, I was on the blog. So if you need succinct, this is not. I can be, but yeah, usually not. So I'm sure there are other channels that are more succinct. But yep. So yeah. Anyway, love you guys and gals, and I do use guys in general for all the sexes, the two sexes. But anyway, yeah. So, but I try to remember also, you know, some females don't want to be, you know, just generalized called guys, right? Speaking of that, real quick, I know, so I'm not gonna. I came across something. I was going to go into extra detail, but I came across something a month or so ago, where it was like, it's just that the revelation that like in the Word, when God said, you know, create man in His own image, that He wasn't necessarily talking about male man, just talking about human beings. And it was really cool, and I didn't realize how helpful it was to me as a female, and I didn't know what was my reaction, like what was tied into that, how much that maybe subconsciously I was thinking about. But like the fact that He didn't just mean males, but that man is just a term for all of us, was really cool. So I had to see if I can find that. But yeah, stuff like that, you know. Like, I didn't think God didn't love me as a female, but, and I know in the Word that there were times like where Jesus was like, and God was like, hey, women, protect them, or, you know, like, don't be crazy to them and stuff like that. And let's just not be crazy to each other. That's just in general. But yeah, that was like a weight lifted that I didn't know was there. There have been times where I wondered about when it said, you know, man, and blah, blah, blah. And I know there have been, I don't remember if there have been actual I'm blocking on the term. So you have the NIV, the King James, New King James, like those translations. If there have been various translations that, if there have been any that have like inserted, like if it says man, it says man and a woman, or male, male and a female, or something like that. And you know, have wondered, because like the whole thing of not adding or taking away from the word, I'm like, oh, but reading that, I'm like, okay, so but just knowing that like we haven't been left out, we weren't left out, and like in general, not just oh here's a little something for the women, here's a little yay little trinket or something, but that like again when he said make man in our own image, it didn't mean like man as I understand the word today. Again, understanding the original, like what the words really meant. Is huge. I think it's huge for me. So, all right, we're gonna end there. Love you. Bye.